What about death, Charlie?
What about it? I told you I'm already dead.
Hello, folks. Got a great interview today with a very funny comic. He opened a few years ago in Pennsylvania, and you can just tell. I can tell from one joke whether a guy's good or not. And he's a Navy vet and just a good guy, and has a book called History Isn't Boring, Your Teacher Was, and a special called The Last Recital. Here's a quick clip, very quick. He's really funny, but this is just a quick clip from the special.
But that's what I knew because Carly gives me a couple things I've never had in my life. She gives me confidence. She loves me unconditionally. She's a squirter. It's there too. I'm not gonna lie to you. All right. You ever want to know why we're always getting rid of couches? That's why. That's
He's got a joke about COVID. You'll see during the interview that was just, I mean, as good a joke as I've heard. Not just about COVID either. My guest today, a very funny comedian. He's a Navy veteran. He's from New Jersey. I worked with him a couple of years ago. He ripped the tits off the crowd. He's a good guy. He thinks like that. Most of all, he's funny as hell. He's got a book out called History Isn't Boring, Your Teacher Was. That's exactly right. And I've read a couple, look at, this is a perfect book for me. Look at it, it's about an 1/8 of an inch thick. And it's fucking funny, and it's filled with a bunch of shit, history-wise, I had no idea. And he's got a special out there if you Google KP Burke or whatever. It's a good plug, huh? And it's called The Last Recital. And we'll show a clip of it, and we'll drop it in post. But please welcome a very funny dude, my friend KP Burke.
Hey, it is great to see you, Nick.
How are you, man?
I'm good.
You look like a Navy veteran, I got to tell you.
It's the absence of a neck. I think that's what does it.
Holy shit, that is, he does. He looks like a Coke machine with a head on it. Holy Christ, I didn't realize. Did you play football, KP?
No, I was a wrestler.
Oh, there you go. Even more dangerous.
Not enough height for me for football.
How tall are you?
5'9".
Well, that's me too. 5'9". Somebody had a good point. Kevin Millar, that used to play for the Red Sox. He goes, why don't they measure us in our fucking shoes or our sneakers? We don't walk around barefoot most of our life. I thought it was a good point for a moron. Anyways, meaning him, not me. Hell of a ball player. Love him. So, KP, where did we work? I want to say Pennsylvania.
So it was a couple, man. I got very lucky with you. You've been crazy good to me, sir. I don't know if you know how good you've been to me.
No, dude. I'm good to people who deserve. I don't put anybody on or help anybody that I don't think is truly funny or loves comedy, and and then I found out that you were a military guy, which I just happen to love. People might think I'm from a real gung-ho military. My dad was a Marine, but he was a traditionalist, like what we want. And I like guys like you that have actually, my producer Dallas has done a tour in Afghanistan and a couple in Iraq, so he can relate.
There's two types of Dallases. There's always a Dallas that's seen combat and a Dallas that winds up as a stripper. That's the only two Dallases I've ever met.
I'm both of them.
Oh, that's actually hilarious. That's true. A Dallas, like a female Dallas, right? Oh, fuck.
They're always strippers. It's without fail.
Oh, that's funny. That's how I go to shitty strip clubs. The one I went to, the girl's name was Schenectady. I gotta keep that in mind. We'll get to the comedy and all that shit in a second. Did you grow up in New Jersey?
Born and raised about 15 minutes outside Giant Stadium.
No shit.
Yeah, man. It was it's trippy too, because that there's that East Coast thing where it's just I'm in South Carolina right now and I'm very uncomfortable because there's just no Italians down here. I'm not comfortable with it. I need to be near them. I'm not Italian, but I need to be adjacent.
I love it. See, because that's how I feel about the Irish. I grew up in Boston. All my friends fucking Irish. And my best friends. And every girl I fucked was Irish or Italian. One guy, he was English and Spanish. That's got nothing to do with what I was saying. Yeah, so you're a jury. Where would you grow up? At East Rutherford? Pretty damn close, right?
Very close. It was Passaic County, so Wayne, right where they were filming a bunch of the Sopranos stuff when I was in high school.
What did you just say before that? That was the Sopranos thing you reminded me of. Oh, Nick, come on. I swear I got Alzheimer's.
Yeah, but you look good, though, man. I'm about to pull a Jeffrey Tubin here.
Hope you got a sneeze guard on your computer screen. I have a squeegee. This is me talking to tech support at 4 a.m. Some guy in Calcutta. Yeah, how do I get semen out of a mouse pad? Yeah, I tried fucking lemon and club soda. That's the best you got, you fucking dot. Anyway.
They'll put curry on anything.
No. I tried the curry. They're painful. Much later on, I went to another video and didn't rinse my hands. It's like eating. I don't know where the fuck I'm at. So you were a Giants fan, obviously.
Unfortunately, we're going through the process now. It's been brutal. It's been brutal.
You remember a guy named Mark Bavaro?
Oh, he's the hero.
He was. I was his captain in high school. He was a junior. I was a senior. He was our tight end.
Oh, I didn't know that. My Uncle Bobby was, he's my dad's oldest brother. And my dad loves you, by the way. You met him one time in that theater gig in Pennsylvania.
Yes, I did.
But his oldest brother, he was Bill Parcells' quarterback coach when Parcells was still playing in Jersey. He was the quarterback. And I think my uncle was such a young teacher.
Yeah.
And Parcells was such a big person. I think he was the teacher, but he had to call Bill Parcells Mr. Parcells. That's how little respect they had.
Parcells was a quarterback at one time?
He was. Riverdale High School, New Jersey.
Parcells, a quarterback? That's fucking weird. Because he's a big guy and fucking, I loved him. He's an opinionated asshole and just, every time people, Trump's an out, I go, yeah, well, you know what? Fucking most leaders are. Not every, and I always use Parcells. I go, not every player on the Giants like Bill Parcells, I guarantee you. Or Packers, Vince Lombardi. Those are called fucking leaders. Get the job done. Bill Belichick, oh, he's full of personality. I mean, right?
A little more lately. He's a character, though, man. You're right. You have to have, there's people that are going to run through walls for you, and there's going to be people that are like, how soon until I can get another job? But you always wind up better for it.
That's true. What have you been, you're in South Carolina, working?
Yeah, it's remember Comedy Shop? That was actually the guy that introduced us, to answer your first question. It was James from the Comedy Shop.
Is that one of his? Oh, James from the Comedy Shop. James, the Jersey guy.
He's a Jersey guy. He moved to Myrtle Beach, so that's where I'm at right now. I stayed with him this weekend. He put me up while I was working.
No shit. Tell him I said hello. Yes, I play the Comedy Cabana down there. And I had never heard of it. I'm talking about KP Burke, by the way. That's called resetting when you're doing radio. Very funny comedian. I did the Comedy Cabana. I just started recently doing it a few years ago, and I've been doing this forever. You know that, KP. And I get there, and this happens to me all the time. I'll look at the wall, the pictures on the wall, and it's all my buddies who've been playing these shitholes forever. So I have to call my agent and go, "What the fuck are you doing? Why am I playing the Shoe Factory again in fucking New Brunswick, New Jersey?" Is it a good?
We were there together too.
Yeah, geez. Now he's reminded me of all the. I could only remember the theater, but you're right. We did the Laugh Factory, right?
Well, you know what it was? I think people noticed that you weren't kicking me off the show, so they're like, "Let's just bring in KP because Nick doesn't seem to get angry when we do that." So I think that was the palpable fear they all had of you. I think just led to me getting more work. So I was like, "I'm not going to correct him. I'm not being brought in by him, but I'm not going to correct him."
Andy Fiore's texting me. Yes. Man. And when we did that gig, did Vinny Brand, this is the guy who owns it, good guy, but he's a comic too. Did he, when you were, I were there, maybe he wasn't even there, because after the first time I worked with him, and it's his club, I said, "I don't want you around if I do this club again." I go, "You opened with 48 minutes. Folks, you know how the MC comes out and does 10? He did 48, because it's his club. Did he do that when you and I were there, KP?
No, I think you scared him off too. It was great. It's one of my favorite stories. Can I tell the story? It's 2 seconds.
I don't even know what it is, but fuck it. What do I got to lose?
It was fantastic.
I'm 78.
You were, well, I'll tell you what it was. It was McGregor versus Mayweather. Weekend.
Yes.
So they actually put the fight on for us at the end over there. Vinny wasn't there that weekend, but you and me were watching the fight afterwards. They told everybody at the Late Show, if you stuck around, they were going to put the game on. I'm not the fight on, rather. And my favorite part of that was in between shows, the manager of Stress comes in. He goes, Nick, can you please not smoke on stage? I got people complaining. And you gave the funniest answer. You're like, you let Attell do it. It's my favorite thing ever. You always gave me something to talk about on Monday at work, but it was, oh man, that was my favorite one.
I'm like Christopher on The Sopranos, insecure guy. Like when he went to the bakery, remember? And the kid was giving him shit behind the counter. Kid's like, no,
yeah.
Gino, you come first. And then Christopher tells the guy to leave, and he goes to the kid behind him, what, I don't look like something to fucking worry about? You're afraid of Attell, but you fucking tell me to fuck off with the smoking? Yes, you're absolutely right. And I've said that at other clubs, too. I go, well, what is this, a Jew thing? The fuck?
You're consistent, Nick. That's the best part.
I am. I'm like herpes, not going anywhere. I like this book, Cape. I really do. I'm not just fucking, again, the size. And what makes me laugh is you said you should read it in the bathroom. And I've been constipated, so I've had this for 3 months, and I only read 2 chapters. I've been really blocked up. But Dallas, you might know some of this shit, but the one I love the best, the 20th president, that was Garfield, right? Like I know, it's right in front of me.
There's a town in New Jersey named after him, actually.
Yes, I think I played it. It's called the fucking Black Hole. I played.
You love it. They're all Italian over there.
I know. I have played every KP. I've played Jersey, and they've always been good to me. The minute I came down from Boston, it was a match made in heaven. And every time I go on the road, anybody east of the fucking Chicago thinks I'm a Jersey or Brooklyn. I go, what the fuck? I sound like Ted Kennedy. You guys got to get out more. But I
have the opposite.
What do you get? Do you?
Oh, everybody, they see KP Burke on the roster, and I have my little St. Brendan pendant, and they're like, "What? How long you been out of Boston, kid?" So,
and you look at him and go, what are you, fucking retarded?
Yeah, if you're Irish and you dress Italian, they think you're from Boston. I don't know why it works, but it does.
Colin Quinn always says to me, you're the only Italian I know that doesn't dress Italian. You don't give a fuck about clothes. Listen to this, KB. This will shock you, too. I'm sorry I'm talking so much. It's your interview. My mother, hello? I was fucking my cousin. My sister did the swab 23andMe thing. I am 1% more Irish than Italian. That's how I know those things are bullshit. Look at me. I look like a piece of burnt garlic. How the fuck am I more Irish? Do you believe that? That's what they said. I like this guy, Charles Guiteau, right? He was the assassin.
He was Manson before Manson, man. He was a wild dude.
Yeah, what made him so wild? Like, people knew he was dangerous. He pretended to help McKinley get elected. I mean, Garfield.
Well, yeah, it was weird. He was a nut job from day one. His own father thought that he was possessed by the devil. And then he got kicked out of a sex cult. That's a 100% true story, by the way. He got kicked out of a sex cult.
Well, I don't want to say anything, but both those things were true of me, too.
That's yeah, but you got charisma. This guy did.
I do. I had a lot of charisma. I could get those Cub Scouts into my van just looking at them and go, hey. So he was he really working on the campaign or no?
So it's nuts. It's like he gave a speech.
Yeah.
And he gave one speech. Nobody really listened to it, but he had, I guess, a newspaper connection.
Yeah.
So he parlayed that into. He was kind of like talking himself up. It was
it's like
when a comic sees another.
Yeah, I know somebody at the Beacon Press.
I got to work there February 2nd. But it was great. It was he parlayed. It was kind of like when a comedian sees a comic that has a monster bit, and somebody be like, "Oh, that's my joke." They saw me working that out.
Yeah.
And you're like, all right, I don't know if you really came up with it first.
Right.
I'm sure if you did, it wouldn't be as good as this guy just, figured it out.
Right.
We all pull from the same spots. So this guy took all the credit he goes, oh, I'm the reason why Garfield got elected. And then he wanted to be made a minister, which is like a consulate type position.
Right.
He wanted that. Then he wanted to become the head of the post office. And they kept telling him, like, they just weren't taking meetings with him. They're like, dude, get out of here. What's wrong? Like, you didn't do anything. You're a weird guy. And then he took that slight and he decided, he's like, oh, well, I'm going to get my name in the papers by killing him then. And he literally bought a gun and he goes, make sure it looks good. It's going to hang in a museum one day.
That was that's why I love this story. That right there. He said to the guy that was selling him the gun, he wanted a pearl handle on it too, right? Is that what he asked for, a pearl handle?
Yep. Make sure it's pretty. It's going up in a museum. Make sure
it's pretty. It's going up in a museum. Wow. I'm going to try that next time I buy a gun. I'm going to try that at Pro Basha.
You'll be like that scene from Dogma when they're loading Desert Eagles together, talking about how they can use it at home for self-defense.
No, how old are you?
37.
37. You're like my buddy Steven Crowder. Every movie he references, I fucking look at him and go, last movie I saw was Chitty Chitty Bang Bang in the theater. That's sort of a tip-off. And the other one, Madison's wife. I didn't know she was a fucking live wire, huh? Tell us about her. She was a
hot box of rocks, they said.
She's a piece of ass, too?
She was hot. They actually, I think, she's up there as ranked as one of the best first ladies ever. And she was a total character, man.
Better than Jill Biden?
You know what? If you didn't have Melania in there, Jill's not a bad-looking lady.
No, she had her day.
She had her day. She certainly did. Now she's evil. She's like she's like the chick that married what's his name from Raging Bull, Jake LaMotta. Jake LaMotta's wife that keeps pushing him out there before he died. She's like, oh yeah, we're gonna do a Broadway play. It's evil what you're watching them do. It's like a Anna Nicole on steroids kind of a thing.
Did Kathy Moriarty? Is that you talking about? The actress?
Not the actress.
Oh, you mean
the actress was great.
Yeah. You mean, I get you.
Yeah, LaMotta's wife before he died, I think they lived in Bisbee. I only know this because Doug Stanhope was talking about it. But they would make him do like a play or something like that his wife wrote and directed, saying starring Jake LaMotta. That's right. He'd be like in a wheelchair and not know what he was doing. And you're like, this is what Jill Biden was doing for 4 years.
Only on a worldwide stage. What a
terrifying.
That was like senior abuse. I'm talking to KP Burke, a very funny dude, Navy veteran. The book is History Isn't Boring, Your Teacher Was. And I actually liked history, but I don't read anymore. I don't know what fucking happened. Oh, that's right. I do know what happened. They invented TV. My wife is a history fanatic, and I can't stand her. Honey, I'm kidding. You know that. She reads. I'm not shitting you. 10 books a week. What have you been doing? Let's talk about stand-up. I just pick my spots now. Everybody's releasing specials, and Colin Quinn said this, and this had to be, and I'm not shitting you, when I was sitting around the Comedy Cellar table, so this had to be 12 years ago, saying how, just what you said, I read an article, specials aren't specials. Everybody has one, which was really true. I'm in Savannah, KP, and this town doesn't have a comedy scene whatsoever. And so I don't have a place to work shit out, which means I'm not inspired to write anything. And I just lay on my ass. But you live in Jersey still, right?
Yes, sir. I was living down the shore for a couple of years, and then I wound up, my girlfriend trapped me, and now I'm back up in North Jersey. I live one town over from where I grew up. It's a nightmare. Carly. She's a winner, dude.
She looks. I saw it in the clip we're going to drop in. You do a great joke about her, and it cut a very pretty woman. Unlike my wife, I do a joke. She gives me the finger if she's in the crowd. No.
Does she throw her back out while she does it, though?
Yes, she does, actually. She throws her back out sleeping with Terrell Suggs. Folks, that's my favorite reference. Every time I do a black guy, Yeah, no, but your wife is like my wife. We got lucky. At least I did. I married a woman and I didn't do it on purpose. I married a woman. She let me know a little at a time as the years went on how much smarter she was. She let it out a little at a time. I was just looking for a girl, kind of autistic with a nice body. My wife's like fucking with Bill. She can write computer programs. It's not what I wanted. I was just looking for a whore. But your wife is your business, like your manager, right? And your business, because that's what my wife is, my business manager. She's so friggin' good with money, and isn't that what Carly does?
It's great, and the two of them were corresponding via email, which I loved because Carly does everything for me with this. She understands. She's like, listen, if I just put you in a dark room, you kind of come up with something interesting. So why don't you do that, and then I'll figure out your dollars and cents end of it. So the book doesn't exist without her.
Who's that? Your doctor? Who just hawked up a lungie back there?
That's James from the Comedy Shop. That's him saying, tell Nick to send me a Vales.
Hey, James, I'll be at the Comedy Cabana in March if you want to come down there, check out a set. No, I don't know when I'm going to be back there. I like it down there. James, good to hear from you, and I hope that AIDS clears up. Jesus Christ, that sounded like a real wet cough.
Book soon. I don't know how much longer he's going to be around.
Just got back from the hut zone. We'll be back with more KP Burke in just a minute. Go to nickdip.com if you want to get my tour dates. As you see there, February 20th, Bricktown Comedy Club, Tulsa, Oklahoma. The very next night, February 21st, Funny Bones, St. Louis, Missouri. And then March 13th, Hyenas, Albuquerque, New Mexico. Also, April 25th, Cohoes Music Hall, Cohoes, New York. And then May 15th and 16th at Zanies in Rosemont, Illinois, which is a great gig. If you want to support the show, buy some of the gear that we have. The wife worked very hard on putting the page together. Hats, grab a hat, hoodie, mug, T-shirt. We got slingshots, sawed-off shotguns, and water pistols, all Nick DiPaolo style. If you're watching the free version of the show, you can watch full episodes of my show and Louder with Crowder and all exclusive Rumble content ad-free with one subscription. Click the link in the description, then click the Rumble Premium button. Click the red Premium button below and enter promo code MUGCLUB, that's one word, to get $10 off an annual subscription. And without further delay, back to my buddy KP Burke.
Hi, good night, everybody.